So, last cardboard cutting test, you could tell the edge was severely damaged. And what I did was I used this homemade strop. This used to have white Bark River compound, that's the fine stropping compound on it. After which I started putting the coarse black Bark River compound over it. And it kind of works, but I think that's just a bad choice. I wanted to test it, see what happens. I'll do those kind of tests. This small everyday strop that I had with me when I was on vacation worked very well on the steel. Like I said, I managed to keep it at a very high sharpness level for about 8 days, and still, even after the 10th day, it was so sharp. I did, however, change the edge angle a bit. The first edge angle that I put on it was about 15 degrees per side. After 10 days of stropping, when I got back home, I noticed the edge angle was higher. It wasn't as aggressive. It would shave, but it wasn't as aggressive. And where the edge angle is right now is about here. This is where it starts catching, but you can still move the blade forward. So you can see that's the edge angle right now. It was about here, 2-3 degrees, maybe 4 degrees more. I sharpened at the same edge angle I sharpened the first time. That went really fast. So sharpening LC200N on stones or doing small maintenance sharpening jobs on a strop works very well. After the cardboard cut test, I didn't have a lot of success with this strop, and it was a mistake for me to even try that. I like to test more things at once, and that's just a mistake because you introduce too many variables. But after the video, I stropped the knife on this strop, and I just showed you how well that worked. You can cut up a hair like it doesn't work as well as with a fresh edge, but you can definitely grab the hair. You guys won't see that anyway. You can definitely grab the hair and it'll cut it. So that's not bad. Will it shave? Let me just put this paper here. It'll still definitely take off hairs. As little as I have on, I'm guessing you can see those black spots. Those are the hairs that I still have on my forearm. All that sharpening with the strop. Now, some people are going to say you're not supposed to overstrop and so on and so forth. Some people don't care. Personally, I don't care. This is why I've been testing for the last 2 months. I have sharpened this knife up, and then I started testing again and see how long can it come back to shaving sharp or paper slicing sharp on a strop, because I think you guys might care about that. You put a knife in your pocket, you cut something with it, you're gonna cut maybe the same amount of cardboard that I did in my cardboard test, and you want to strop your knife back to shaving sharp. You don't want to put it on a sharpening stone. You don't want to clamp it back in your sharpening system or get out your water stones. You just want to watch your favorite show on whatever channel, watch your favorite Spartan John's videos, and strop your knife. And LC200N really works for that. It works very well for that. Even small dings in the blade after I processed that perch pike, it had some dull spots on the blade, and I could sharpen those out with this small strop. I think that's a huge advantage. I haven't seen any real damages from like you would get from a fatigued edge with certain steels. I don't think LC200N is a steel where you would need to worry about that. Not at an edge angle like 15 degrees per side. My native salt has an edge angle of lower than that, about 14 degrees per side, and I've done much more brutal things to this. Plus I gave it to a friend, and I don't know what he cut, but when he gave me the knife back, I stropped it, and it was once again sharp. This is why I like LC200N. It doesn't rust, and I would say I can't compare it to S30V, but I would say it's slightly better than VG10. It sharpens about the same as VG10, will hold an edge about the same if you discount corrosion. If you put VG10 in salt water, it's going to corrode much faster. But I would say edge retention, not tested, repeated cuts on sisal rope or anything, but actually real life, just working with it and then stropping it. About VG10, how quick does it come back to that in almost that initial sharpness on a strop? About the same as VG10, maybe a hair quicker depending on the stropping compound you use. Now, if you use diamond solutions, diamond abrasives for your stropping compound for sharpening, you're gonna have no issues. It just like a dream. I don't have any diamond stropping compounds, but sharpening this on diamond stones, it's really nice. I mean, you can get a very, very, very good edge on the Work Sharp Precision Adjust with the 320, the 600, and the ceramic. A very, very beautiful edge. I'm not sure if you guys can see this. The edge is shiny, and the edge is that shiny from stropping. I am also not an advocate of using your strop for everything. I think people should learn how to sharpen, because at some point you are going to sharpen this, strop this to the point where it'll feel sharp. It might take off some hairs, but the edge angle, you would have changed that. It'll have no more bite to it. As a regular user of knives in your everyday life, do you care? Because you just want to go through the motions. And I think this is one great model that you actually, if you actually need something like this, it's perfect. Do your cutting and forget about it. And then every once in a while, sharpen it. If I were to recommend one salt knife, I would still recommend the Pacific Salt H1. Much less expensive, and really you don't need to worry about, you need to worry about this less than you would need to worry about the Caribbean. This one, main drawback would be for me that it's a flow-through design. With this one, you don't have that issue. You can get this in LC200N. Construction is real easy. It's protected. I don't really recommend the siren. I like the design. I like what they did with it. Sorry, it has too many issues that I can't overlook. Still like it. I still appreciate some things about it. But yeah, I would recommend this if you can afford it. It's fantastic. But if you just care about working with a knife, the Pacific Salt comes in H1 and it comes in LC200N. And I think it's just fantastic design, tried and true. You have your Enduras, you have your stretches. The native I don't like that much. This one, salt knife, NEDC knife, great if you can pocket it. And I tried to give you all the details that I could. Hopefully they are of some use to you. If there's something that I forgot to mention, let me know. This was part 3, I guess. 3, 4. I'll also show you the disassembly of this knife. I haven't disassembled it for 2 or 3 weeks, but I did tend to do that a lot just because the action got a bit rougher. Let's do that. To be continued, I guess.